Right, well, welcome everybody to our Uni Buddy showcase for the MA Applied Linguistics and TESOL. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Natasha, and with me I have Dr. Nick Smith, who will be our academic lead for today, and he'll be taking us over an outline of the master's courses, as well as a taster lecture. We're also joined today by Tiana Gabriel and Luke Statham. They are two postgraduate students who are currently on the course, on the programs, and they will be able to give some insight into what it's like to be a student with us on this program. We've also got Yufi, who will be in our chat, in our live chat, and she'll be able to answer any questions that you may have. But to give you a general overview of the session, we're going to start now with an overview of the whole program from Nick. In the meantime, please feel free to enter your questions in the live chat. We will do a Q&A at the end, and we will get any of those questions you may have answered. We have our experts with us today. We've got our academic, and of course, we've got our two students. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Nick. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Okay. Thanks, Natasha. Before I do the introduction, Natasha, there was a query from Tiana. She said, should I use the showcase password this was on Teams? So please could you just check that message?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. So yeah, as mentioned by Natasha, I'm doing this together with two of our student representatives. They're very kindly offered to help today. Tiana Gabriel, who's from the United States, and Luke Statham, who's from the UK. And each of them is on one of our component programs, the Applied Linguistics and TESOL and MA TESOL. So Applied Linguistics and TESOL is generally for people who have some teaching experience already, people who want to further their knowledge of language teaching and linguistics, applied linguistics, and use it to help them improve as a language teacher or language professional. MA TESOL students have similar goals, but they tend to have less experience of language teaching. So we provide more foundations for those students so that they can get started on a career in TESOL. Okay, just to run through our aims, I've listed them here. And the first aim is to enhance the linguistic or language understanding and expertise of professionals involved in English language teaching. And that's more for the experienced teachers, but secondly, to provide opportunities for intending teachers. So if you haven't taught before, you can still join our program. There are opportunities to learn how to teach English language through our very practical modules and theoretical modules as well. And altogether, we want to also provide you with strong theoretical foundations. How is language used? So that you can become more knowledgeable and confident when you're a language teacher yourself. And over on the right, we just have a picture from one of our classes run by my colleague Jim Ascombe from the module Reflections on Language Teaching and Learning. So this is one of the more practical modules about language teaching. Okay, here are our teaching team, and you can see me top left, that's program leader, and my colleagues Julie Norton, Jim Ascombe, Pam Rogerson-Revell, Jim King, and Agneta Svalberg. But we also have people who we call teaching fellows who are also supporting our programs and very instrumental in making it successful. And I've listed their names here. So if you're wondering what do you need to get on our programs, I've summarized the requirements here. You need a good second-class honours degree, if it's from the UK, or an equivalent from a non-UK university. And the GPA is 3.0 or above. You also need an English language level of IELTS 6.5 or equivalent if you've done another test. And in each component, speaking, reading, listening, and writing, you need at least 6.0. So the two programs, MA Applied Linguistics and TESOL and MA TESOL. Let me cover Applied Linguistics and TESOL first. Here, as I mentioned, you need to have experience. We say at the moment at least 1 year's experience of English language teaching. For MA TESOL, we expect you to have some experience. It could be from practicing in a classroom or doing some short training, but showing an interest, that's the crucial thing, showing an interest and engagement with language teaching, English as a second or foreign language. Okay, now you may be wondering, well, after I do the course, what kind of jobs can I go on to do? Well, typically, as you might expect, the jobs are to do with language teaching. There could be other jobs. You could go into something more to do with management in a language school or something related to language learning and teaching. And especially our teachers who have the Applied Linguistics and TESOL, they often seem to get promoted to, they're already a language teacher, but they can get to a better position with our degree. And those who are initial teachers often find our MA helps them to get into their first jobs in their home country or another country as an English language teacher. Okay, now what do you actually study on our course? Well, we have on the MA Applied Linguistics and TESOL, these modules are what we call core. Core simply means you are required to take them, they're compulsory. And these 5 modules have 15 credits each. So you can see them listed here: second language teaching, there's second language learning. There are 2 modules to do with the structure of English, that's grammar awareness and phonology and pronunciation. And we also have a module called language in society, how language is used in society. And I'll give you a taster lecture shortly in that field. And you also do a dissertation, and that's for 60 credits. Now, this is an extended project. You'll do it over about 4 or 5 months, and you'll have a supervisor to guide you through your independent research. And we provide a lot of support to help you in those projects. And you can see here how what the actual option modules are. I won't read through them all. I'll let you read the titles, but you can see that you do 1 option module in term 1 and 2 option modules in term 2. And if you want, at the end, you can ask me about any one of these modules. I can try to explain in more detail. So this is what a year might look like as a whole. If you're on this program, you would have the 3 core modules in term 1 and 2 core modules in term 2, and you'd have the option modules as listed here. And in each term, you do research methods, and that is designed to support your own research, particularly when you come to do the dissertation. Over in term 3, we don't have formal classes in the same sense. We don't have modules, but we have reading groups where you can discuss papers with your classmates and your tutors. We have a session called Professional Lives in English language teaching to give you more guidance and support about what you can do after the degree in terms of finding jobs and developing yourself as a language teacher. And sometimes we have guest speakers offering talks. But the main activity in that term is your project, your dissertation. Okay, and the other degree, as I mentioned, is called MA TESOL, and here are the core modules. I'll just list them as before. You'll see they're very similar to the ones listed earlier, but there are 2 modules that are different, that are not available on the other program, and these are to help new language teachers. So one is called Communicative Language Teaching in Action, and the other one is Reflections on Language Teaching and Learning. And again, you will do a dissertation, but you could alternatively, and this is for these people on this program, you can do what we call a professional inquiry dissertation. And this is where you do a project that's designed to support your learning as a language teacher, to help you reflect on what's useful for you in developing your teaching. What aspects do you want to focus on? So you might think, I need to research on helping students to read or helping students to speak. For example, in China, many students don't have opportunities to speak. So you might design a project to encourage students to do more speaking activities and so improve their speaking proficiency. And again, there are option modules. They're slightly different to the other program, but mostly the same. Language and Society is an option module here, not a core module. And in term 2, the options are the same as for the other program, but you only do one option module. And here's what the year will look like for you. Very similar to the previous view for the other program. So I mentioned that in both terms of teaching, you'll do research methods, and this is to help you with things like project research, such as designing a questionnaire, creating an interview, how to observe classrooms to get the best data, or how to analyze talk. So these classes on research methods run in both terms, and they prepare you, as I said, for the dissertation or the professional inquiry project. And then in term 3, you'll be allocated a supervisor, and that super will support you as you do your dissertation or professional inquiry project. Okay, all the time that you're doing the course, you have the access to a personal tutor. So the people I showed you before are the personal tutors. We are there to give you general support during your studies, and you can make appointments to see us. And if you have any problems, we're happy to discuss them with you, or you just want general guidance on your assignments or your career. Again, we are there to give you that kind of support. And we also monitor your progress for the year. So we discuss how you're doing on the modules, ways that you can improve your results, or things you've learned from the modules. So just send us an email and we can make appointments to meet you and try and improve or discuss your progress. We also have staff student committees in which student representatives come along and tell us how they think the course is going. They can ask questions, they give feedback on any issues, and we also learn about news in the university. So generally this is designed to improve the quality of the program. And Luke here is one of the student representatives on that committee. So he can tell you more about that if you wish. Okay, what about assessments? I'm sure you're wondering how modules are assessed. Well, all 8 module assignments carry what we call 15 credits. The total degree consists of 180 credits, so each one is 15 credits. And the dissertation or the professional inquiry is worth 60 credits. Most of our assignments are by coursework, so there are very few exams. At the moment, we don't have any exams, but sometimes we reintroduce them for 1 or 2 subjects. And if you score a pass with 70% or more, you get a distinction. If you have 60 to 69%, it's called a merit. And if it's above 50, it's a pass. And you do have the opportunity, if you fail a module, to resubmit it, where the maximum mark is 50%. So again, I can tell you more about this if you're interested. Okay, now, as well as the other things I've mentioned, we have within the university support for study skills. Some students need particular help with academic writing, academic reading, and we have 2 branches of the university that particularly help with that. One is ELTU, and one is the Academic Skills Center in the library. If you look at these web pages, you can book a session, you can have a one-to-one session, or sometimes a small group session. And down at the bottom, ELTU also offers pre-sessional English programs. So if you feel that your English needs to be raised a bit to get up to a higher standard to join the master's program, you have the opportunity to take a course in the UK before joining, and this will help you get up to the level needed. So do follow that link, and I'll try and share these slides afterwards so you can access the pre-sessional English programs if you wish. Okay, so this is a picture from one of our conferences. The students were presenting their professional inquiries a couple of years ago, and we gathered in the hall afterwards for a group photo. We've had many such successful events like this, and we hope one day that we can welcome you to join us in Leicester for this kind of activity and join us on our programs.